What's up, guys? It's Rich, back with another Arma Reforger video for you today, and in today's video we're going to talk about probably the biggest update in the history of the game. Arma Reforger 1.3 is including a massive amount of additions, updates to the game. Essentially, probably the biggest update, like I said, that is going to be coming for this game, and I'm super excited for it. Guys, if you guys are excited for the Arma Reforger update, make sure you guys slam that like button. Also, make sure you guys click that sub button if you're interested in FPS, milsim content, any of that interesting stuff, as we're trying to hit 10,000 subs this year. The update for 1.3 is set to release March 27th, and as far as the release time, we don't know one just yet. They are based out of the Czech Republic, so their obviously release time isn't going to line up for more of the Western folks as far as the NA East and NA West crowd. We're not going to really know a release time, just somewhere throughout the middle of the night as far as I'm concerned. But with all that being said, I kind of want to talk about the new stuff that's coming with this update and why I think it's absolutely phenomenal, and you guys are going to definitely want to check it out. So the first thing that they've decided to add in are going to be some new vehicles. Some of the new stuff coming in is going to be the new vehicle, the BDRM-2. It's for the Russians. It's kind of an anti-personnel / anti-tank vehicle that can also service as a transport vehicle. The counter to that in the US side is going to be the LAV-25, a very classic looking vehicle that a lot of you guys are familiar with. These vehicles are going to add in more of a unique gameplay element for those that are trying to obviously dive into the more vehicle side of things. I definitely think that these are going to impact the battle and obviously the landscape a little bit more. I'm going to be interested to see how these play out in terms of balancing and how they work. The next one's going to be a really big one that I think a lot of Arma fans are excited for, and that's going to be mortar emplacements. Support players can finally rejoice being able to defend points of interest using included HE explosive shells, smoke shells, and even those illumination shells for nighttime. I think that's going to look phenomenal. It's going to impact especially nighttime battles in a super cool and phenomenal way. I'm definitely excited to see these play out. And I can't wait to be defending a point and see one of these illumination flares go up and just lighting up where all the enemies are at. And I cannot wait to just start getting into that immersion aspect of this game. Definitely 2 thumbs up with this one. Mortar emplacements are super exciting. Destructive environments. Battlefield fans, you'll obviously be familiar with this one. You'll be able to now break twigs with your vehicles and you won't get stuck on them. Obviously, you'll be able to roll through forests a lot easier. As we know before, if you ran into a small twig or a small stump, your vehicle will completely get stuck and you won't be able to keep moving. And it's just a nightmare to move through forests, but this has now completely reworked that system. On top of that, though, on top of destructive environments, we now have the fact that every building is completely destructible if you want to level the entire landscape. Now, it doesn't work like the Battlefield system where obviously parts of a building will come apart. It's overall, if you think about it, a HP pool that a building has. And once it hits 0, that entire building just collapses. It's not progressive and the entire building would just fall apart over time. Essentially, all it does is essentially just takes out the entire building once its HP pool reaches 0. Kind of want to see some more immersion and some more refinements of this, but the fact that we have this in the game already is going to impact the game in a very significant manner, especially when you're pushing some of those harder POIs with a lot of buildings. Being able to obviously change up the landscape is going to be a massive factor that I think a lot of people are going to be very, very interested in seeing how it plays out. For my vanilla non-modded Arma players, you now have access to gunships. The US UH-1 and MI-8 variants now have gunship variants to help you tear up critical points of interest with those rockets that can obviously destroy vehicles and other players. I definitely think this is a really good change as far as obviously normal unmodded servers, especially on consoles, don't have access to all the helicopters like modded servers on PCs do. So I'm excited to see that these gunships are obviously making their way over there and now are going to be able to be used and utilized by those players and obviously change up the way their fights go in their servers and their engagements. There is also a tiered loadout system / ranked loadout system, if you will. In order to get access to all of the guns, you will have to put in work and level up to get access to that higher tier gear. It brings a fair and balanced system to the game where now just not new players can just queue into a server and get the best gear available to them. You have to obviously put in a little bit of time, level up your character, invest in a team winning, and invest in a server to obviously get some of that better gear and make your time more worth it. So when you get to that gear, it feels a little bit more rewarding. I'm definitely a fan of this, obviously, to help balance out the game. There's also new dynamic weather coming to the game, fog, rain, and just an overall new immersion coming to the game, and I cannot wait to dive into this. I love immersion, and I think it overall just adds a brand new element to the battle, and overall just makes the game a lot more enjoyable when you have completely different elements in different matches. Also have vehicle light probes for obviously helicopters at nighttime. Being able to spot them a little bit easier is going to introduce these vehicle light probes. I definitely think that this is a nice added-on small feature. They also plan to do included performance optimizations as they continue to improve the game, as this is important as there's a massive amount of new additions coming to the game. So obviously with the performance as the game, obviously, flip-flopping here and there, being able to obviously have some of those performance additions to counteract obviously all the new stuff that's coming in is going to be really, really important, and I hope they hone in and focus on this as well. So I want to pivot here a little bit because I want to talk about for those that now play in the W.C.S servers. These are some of the more modern servers that are more modded, especially for my PC players. They're definitely recognizing the W.C.S servers if you played Arma Reforger before. There are some modern add-ons that you're going to want to check out with this update coming alongside the official 1.3 update for Arma Reforger. Whenever I play Reforger, these are the only servers I play as they are by far the best. Some of these new additions coming to WCS include new vehicle skins for customization, new vehicle variants for more specified combat engagements, new cargo variants for vehicles such as little birds and ground vehicles, and some new gun variants including a G28, L85A2, MK14 EBR, the SIG MPX for 9mm. They have 9mm suppressors also coming into the game. AKM, my two favorite here, the RD704 and the Mark 47 Mutant, two of my favorite guns, and I think I'm so excited to hop in and see these. And then for my Modern Warfare 2 fans, you have the M200 Intervention for my Sniper Fiends. This gun looks phenomenal, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this. WCS is by far the premium experience when it comes to Arma Reforger, and there's nothing else extra you gotta pay. Once you buy Arma Reforger, you'll have access to the WCS servers, and I 100% recommend to give this server a try if you guys are curious about where to hop in and play. I know for newer players, when they see the server browser, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but WCS offers NA and Europe servers for both of you guys all over the world. Definitely, like I said, just go ahead and try these servers. If you don't know where to play, 100% worth it. Although I know there's going to be some heavy queue times, it's totally worth it even sitting in those queues for a little bit. Well, that about sums it up. Arma Reforger 1.3 looks to expand on, in my opinion, the best milsim game out there. With its expanse into platforms such as Xbox and PS5, the game can continue to dominate the space, in my opinion. Let me know down below, guys, though, your thoughts on 1.3. How do we feel about this coming out? Are we excited that this is going to get you to dive into Arma for the first time or get you to dive back in? Or even if you're just an existing player, how excited are we for this update? Share your thoughts down below, guys. And if you enjoyed the video, click that like button again. If not, a dislike. Also, a sub to the channel helps as we're trying to hit that 10,000 goal. Guys, thanks for watching again. Thanks for taking time out of your day. I'll catch you guys later. Peace and love. Bye.